What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Flash video. So I am filming this probably about 6 hours, actually no, 7 hours after I watched this Flash episode, because I have literally just been watching fitness videos on YouTube for the past 6 hours. I don't know what I've become, but I know I hate what I've become. But the Flash this week was pretty cool. We finally get a payoff from last season's finale as we learn what happened to Caitlyn's father, and he's made some very interesting friends throughout his time of, well, being a hermit and creepily watching Star Labs from afar. Now, weirdly, Harrison Wells was the one who set him up with actually having this weird one-way camera. It's quite convenient that he couldn't actually speak to them, and the Reverse Flash being weird from beyond the grave there. So pretty cool. And I can't help but think, so Caitlyn's father had ALS, and then we had the Ice Bucket Challenge to raise awareness of ALS, and now he is, you know, actually ice. That seems really weirdly coincidental to me. And maybe it's just me thinking that, maybe it's my weird brain, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that is a weird connection there? But we learn that he actually tried to stop his ALS from coming on and stop the spread of it, and he also tried to prevent it in his daughter, because I believe it's genetic as well. That then led to her having her persona of Killer Frost for quite some time. Now, this then led to him actually being locked up by his wife, and then he made a few other friends. So he actually spoke to Mr. Freeze himself, Victor Freeze, and, well, that is not a coincidence. That is not a coincidence whatsoever. We also have the name of the original, another Killer Frost, but Icicle here has been talking to Mr. Freeze. Now, in the crossover Elseworlds, Mr. Freeze's wife is actually going to be in that crossover. Now, what will be Mr. Freeze do, or what will Mr. Freeze be doing in that crossover? Probably not a lot. The fact that we've got Arkham Asylum is quite big, and maybe the wife, she's off ice at the moment, and then she has actually maybe an informant on what's really going on inside Arkham Asylum with John Deegan himself. Now, maybe this is why John Deegan has actually gone after the Flash, because he knows his true identity, and he knows exactly who he really is. That's just a speculation there from what might be popping up in the crossover. But this storyline is far from over, as we've got Killer Frost, who has returned, and now she's got that weird little head thing on, and she can actually speak to her darker self, and maybe she can kind of rehabilitate that character into being good. Now, Icicle did the whole gotcha, the old switcheroo there with Team Flash, but it looked like Icicle actually cared for Killer Frost. So if they have this weird ALS medicine, they have the evil version, and the evil version cares for their fellow evil versions. So that's pretty cool. That's interesting, and this raises the dynamic to what could have been a pretty lame payoff to be actually pretty darn decent. So we have quite a few cool Easter eggs there, mainly Mr. Freeze, and off the top of my head, can't remember the name, there was another Killer Frost mention as well. So we have villains working together there, and hopefully we'll see some of that kind of referenced or kind of acknowledged in the crossover. So that time can only hope. We can only hope for that to ever actually happen. Now, what was really interesting here is that we had the origin of Cicada, which really I've been saying on this channel that that dagger is a bit from the satellite, and it was the shrapnel, and that damaged him. I said that last week. It was so obvious. I'm not even going to like flex on the fact that I predicted it, because it was absolutely signposted left, right and centre, because you could actually see, I believe you could actually see on the dagger, it says Star Labs, it's just shrapnel. So we had that dark energy core that was mentioned as well with Sally the Satellite, and poor Cisco actually got to be reunited with Sally the Satellite there, which makes me wonder, how is this place still running with money? How are people like, what's going on at Star Labs? And there's just the Flash running around with Nora Allen from the future. It's just absolutely bizarre. And I guess I'm going to suspend my disbelief there, because, well, the Speed Force doesn't exist in real life. So, yes, I'm just being pedantic for the sake of being pedantic, and it's just not really something to worry about whatsoever. But Cicada's origin is really cool here. And I love the payoff here with the nurse. The nurse, I was like, what's the deal with this nurse? She hates metahumans. She would obviously have seen throughout the course of the show victims of Zoom or possibly other characters, other rogues as well. And she's like, you know what, I've had enough of this. Right, finally I've got someone with a meta energy thing that can take out people. So that's really cool there, a really nice dynamic. And I get where they're coming from. It makes sense that they would hate metahumans, and in some way we really would hate them as well in real life. For all the good they do, there is that argument that, well, the metahumans exist and the villains up the ante and come to the city on the back of that character. That was actually shown really well in Batman White Knight, which you should go and read. It is one of the best graphic novels to be released in the last 10 years. It is a freaking masterpiece, so go and check that out. It's got Reach of the Joker going straight, which, yeah, go and read it. It's stunning. But Cicada here is shown to be a three-dimensional villain, and that's what I thought the Thinker would actually be, but alas, he just turned out to be a guy who was warped by his own sense of white male pride, I guess, or his privilege there, but he just was warped. And he turned it into becoming pointless and just was evil, kind of moustache twirling, which is what Cicada is not. He's on a mission from God. He's a blues brother without the blues or the brother there. I'm not sure where I'm going with that. But his kind of whole shtick makes complete sense. Now, we got a Zoom reference there in Central City Jitters, and you know your boy Zoom's coming back along with other speedsters. Reverse Flash is making a return as well in the 100th episode of The Flash, because what we're getting here is to defeat Cicada, they've got to go back in time to try and find a way to defeat him, and Nora Allen is going to have her all kind of finally live through her father there and see the real history, not just what the Flash Museum has. And next week, we're going to have a sick fight with Cicada, which I'm going to be really excited to see as they close the net around Cicada. It seems very early on that they're closing in on him, so I do think that maybe there is another villain waiting in the midst here in the show. But then again, last season we did have, like, I think it was episode 5 or 6 that they thought they had the Thinker, but then he knew everything was going on because he's the Thinker and he's super smart and everything. But there's got to be something. There's got to be something more to this villain who really hasn't got much to him. He just has a dagger that makes him fly and stuff. So there is that. But overall, this was a really, really good episode. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm liking the Arrowverse right now. I haven't watched Legends of Tomorrow just yet. I'm probably going to watch that after this with dinner. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like. Please subscribe down below. If you want me to do some fitness videos, I've been watching a lot of fitness YouTubers, and I kind of just want to make a fitness video for the sake of it, because that's all I really do. I eat, I lift, I sleep, and I watch TV and read comics. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like. Please subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.